wherever you're watching me. I want to welcome you to this channel. I am very happy to host you. It is my desire that you are doing well and that you are safe wherever you are. Welcome to this channel, and I'm very happy to host you. 17th of September 2025, and I said that we have a program where we are reading the scripture in this month of October, and I hope that you will join this program, be part of us, and I'll be more than happy to. If you're new to this channel, please let me know, subscribe and comment about whichever question you have. And we had already talked about the death. When I left at around 6, I talked about the death of this man who was called Ishbosheth. And 2 Samuel chapter 5 talks about David, the king of Israel. I said that we are doing a forensic analysis of the scripture, and if you have any question concerning the scripture, I will be more than happy to host you. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe. I will be more than happy to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start. I was just drinking my tea. So all the Israel came to David at Hebron and said, "We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, while Saul was king over us, you are the one who led Israel on their military campaigns. And the Lord said to you, you shall shepherd my people Israel, and you shall become their ruler." David was 30 years old when he became the king of Israel. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe. Tell me where you come from. If you have any question, let me know. And he reigned for 40 years. In Hebron, David reigned over Judah for 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem, he reigned over all Israel and Judah for 33 years. Welcome, Jenny Wilson. Welcome to this channel. I'm very happy to host you. So the first thing that when David became the king of Israel, the first thing he conquered Jerusalem. In the next chapter we're going to read, so the king and his men marched to Jerusalem to attack the Jebusites. Remember from the book of Numbers, when the children of Israel attacked, not even the book of Numbers, from the book of Joshua, they did not take Jerusalem. So the first person to try to conquer Jerusalem was David. So let's read. The Jebusites said to David, "You will not get in here. Even the blind and the lame will ward you off." They thought, David cannot get in here. Nevertheless, David captured the fort of Zion, which is the city of David. You see, they first mocked David. They told him that even the blind men and the lame people will beat him in battle, so he should not bother to go to Jerusalem. You know, that is the language of people who are defeated. They first mock you, That is the language of defeated people. When you see people coming out, shouting, that is the language of defeated people. So don't listen to them. Continue with what you are supposed to do. On that day, David had said, anyone who conquers the Jebusites will have to use the water shaft to reach those lame and blind who are David's enemies. That is why they say the blind and lame will not enter the palace. David then took up residence in the fortress and called it the City of David. He built up the area around it from the terraces inwards, and he became more and more powerful because the Lord Almighty was with him. Now the Hiram, king of Tyre, sent envoys to David along with cedar and carpenters, and they built a palace for David. Then David knew that the Lord had established him over king and exalted his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. And after he left Hebron, David took more concubines and wives in Jerusalem, and more sons and daughters were born to him. These are the sons of the children born to him there: Shammua, Nathan, Solomon, Eber, Elishua, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphelet, and Nepheg. When the Philistines heard that David had been anointed the king over Israel, they went up in full force to search for him, but David heard about it and went down to the stronghold. Now the Philistines had come and spread out in the valley of Rephaim. So David inquired of the Lord, should I go up and attack the Philistines? Will you deliver them into my hands? The Lord answered him, go, for you will surely deliver the Philistines into your hands. You see here, the difference between Saul and David was that God never replied to Saul whenever Saul inquired of him. But in the case of David, God was answering the questions that David had. Are we together? So David went to Baal Perazim, and there he defeated them. He said, as waters break out, the Lord has broken out against my enemies before me. So that place was known as Baal Perazim. As I said earlier, that we'll have a forensic analysis of the scripture. I want us to take note of the places geographically, take note of the events, the chronological order of events, so that we don't repeat this. Once we finish with, we have now finished for good. We're never coming back here. Are we together? Once we have finished, we are finished. Are we together? So let's read very, very carefully. Once more the Philistines came up and spread out in the valley of Rephaim. So David inquired of the Lord, and he answered, do not go up, circle round behind them, and attack them in front of the poplar trees. As soon as you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the poplar trees, move quickly, because that will mean the Lord has gone out in front of you to strike the Philistines. So David did as the Lord commanded and struck down the Philistines all the way from Gibeon to Jezer. Now we have started reading 2 Samuel chapter 5, and I hope that in due course of time we'll finish reading this book. After 2 Samuel, let me give you brief, after 2 Samuel, we'll start reading 1 King. And it would be very interesting because I don't want us to miss anything in this scripture. So, chapter 6, I said every video will be 12 minutes, at least 12 minutes. And after that, we'll be able to, I don't want us to go back. No, I want us, once we have finished, we move, permanently from one place to another. I don't want us to start moving back and forth. Are we together? So the ark brought to Jerusalem, that is 2 Samuel chapter 6. David again brought together all the able men of Israel, 30,000 men. He did a head count, and the number of soldiers in his army when he was in Jerusalem was 30,000 men. He and all his men went to Bala in Judah to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim on the ark. They set the ark of God on a new cart and brought it to the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. Uzzah and Ahio, sons of Abinadab, were guarding the ark of God, and Ahio was walking in front of it. David and all Israel were celebrating with all their might before the Lord with instruments. Then came to the threshing floor of Nacon. Uzzah reached out and took hold of the ark of covenant because the oxen stumbled. The Lord's anger burned against Uzzah because of his act. Irreverent. What is that word? Irreverent act. Because of his irreverent act. Therefore God struck him down and he died there beside the ark of God. So you see here, the first man who mishandled the ark of the covenant was called Uzzah, and Uzzah was the son of Abinadab. Okay, and so when he saw that the ark of covenant was going down, was falling down, he tried to save it, and immediately the Lord struck him down. So let's continue.